Hello everyone, today I'm going to discuss about the proclamation of the Philippines independence. Act of Proclamation of the Independence of the Filipino People. In this presentation we would like to give you an overview of what is the proclamation of the independence of the Filipino people all about. We will focus on the history of how and when it was made. It says here, we're looking an overview towards the proclamation of the independence in the Philippines, and we will focus on the past, or what we call here the background history on how or when it was made. Proceed to the next. During the Spanish-American War, Filipino rebels led by Emilio Aguinaldo proclaimed the independence of the Philippines after 300 years of Spanish rule. By mid-August, Filipino rebels and U.S. troops had ousted the Spanish, but Aguinaldo's hopes for independence were dashed when the United States formally annexed the Philippines as part of its peace treaty with Spain. So as we back to our past lesson, or when we are high school or elementary, we discussed this about on how they proclaimed the independence of the Philippines during the Spanish and American War. And this led by our first president, Emilio Aguinaldo, to proclaim the independence by the part of the United States and formally annex the Philippines as part of its peace treaty with Spain. By late 1897, the revolutionaries had been driven into hills southeast of Manila, and Aguinaldo negotiated an agreement with the Spanish. In exchange for financial compensation and a promise of reform in the Philippines, Aguinaldo and his generals would accept exile in Hong Kong. The rebel leaders departed, and the Philippines Revolution temporarily was at an end. During the revolutionaries, Aguinaldo negotiated an agreement with the Spanish, and this agreement exile or accept in Hong Kong, but it was temporarily and during revolution. In April 1898, the Spanish-American War broke out over Spain's brutal suppression of a rebellion in Cuba, the first in a series of decisive U.S. victories occurred on May 1, 1898, when the U.S. Asiatic Squadron under Commodore George Dewey annihilated the Spanish Pacific Fleet at the Battle of Manila Bay in the Philippines. From his exile, Aguinaldo decided with U.S. authorities to return to the Philippines and assist the United States the war against Spain. He landed on May 19, allied his revolutionaries, and began liberating towns south on May. On June 12, he proclaimed the Philippines independence and established a provincial government, of which he subsequently became head. In 1902, an American civil government took over administration of the Philippines, and the 3-year Philippine insurrection was declared to be at an end. Scattered resistance, however, persisted for several years. More than 4,000 Americans perished, suppressing the Philippines, more than 10 times the number killed in the Spanish-American War. More than 20,000 Filipino insurgents were killed, and an unknown number of civilians perished. During the Spanish and American War, on June 12, the Philippines proclaimed established a provincial government. By 1902, more than 4,000 Americans died, while more than 20,000 Filipino insurgents were killed and other civilians. In 1935, the Commonwealth of the Philippines was established with U.S. approval, and Manuel Quezon was elected the country's first president. On July 4, 1946, Full independence was granted to the Republic of the Philippines by the United States. So, in the 1935, Manuel Quezon was the first president who elected in July 4, 1946. Was the time the independence in the Philippines was granted by the United States during Manuel Quezon. The Act of the Declaration of Independence was prepared, written, and read by Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista in Spanish. The declaration was signed by 98 people. Among them are United States Army officers who witnesses the proclamation. Created May-June 1898, presented June 12, 1898 in the town of Cavite, El Viejo, province of Cavite. So here are some proof of Declaration of Independence, and these are some evidence during the declaration signed by 98 people. So on June 12, 1898, it was the first flown and waved by General Emilio Aguinaldo in Kawit, Cavite on June 12, 1898. During the Independence Day celebration, June 12 later was officially proclaimed as the National Independence Day by virtue of Proclamation number 28 of the President Diosdado Macapagal. So during the 1898 general was been celebrated or celebration Independence Day in 1898 in Kawit, Cavite. And the time President Diosdado Macapagal was a virtue Proclamation number 8 of President. So here this is our sources that we get in the internet. These are some the resources that we get and evidence during proclamation of the Philippine independence. So thank you for listening, and that's all.